In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in diaspora and at home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in diaspora and at home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in diaspora and at home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in diaspora and at home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global.
Yes. Good afternoon, viewers around the world. You are welcome to our Tuesday program, Tuesday 101 program we do with guests around the world. My name is Godwin Ijaw, and we're here to have conversation, one-on-one conversation with a notable figure from the south, where we call Delta South of Nigeria, Niger Delta. He's a visitor you'll see very soon. But joining me to do this one-on-one today are my colleagues, coordinators from different parts of the world. Far away London, UK is Fiona Akanu. Fiona, you're welcome to one-on-one.
Good afternoon, Massive Mike. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, we've been having this one-on-one program for some time now. And you and I have also been with some guests. Also joining us today is from Moscow, Russia, is our man, Dr. Godwin Ibe. Dr. Godwin Ibe, welcome to One-on-One.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. You're
Yes.
tuning in. Thank you, my fellow English.
Hello, Dr. Godwin.
Hello, Fiona.
Nice. So it's good to have you two around while we wait for our guests. and other panelists, our other colleagues. Meanwhile, it's an interesting thing to have a personality like the guy that will come in to talk about what we're going to talk about, because at the moment, our country is going through a lot. You both know our country is going through a lot in terms of we having one of the most precious, most sought after natural resources, but still we're grouping the dark. We're suffering. The economic level of many people is beyond what you can say. The man will be talking about that. But before then, let me hear from you, Fiona. What do you think is this problem? I mean, how can Nigeria, with such amount of deposits, natural resources, wealth, and we still live in abject poverty? I mean, what is this, Fiona? How do you sum up this?
Thank you so much, Mac. I think one of the things that I think, and I'm somebody that studied economics at university, but I'm actually going to approach it from a layperson's perspective. I think that part of the issue is about mismanagement, and one of the other issues is about transparency. So if we don't really have a clear understanding of what happens at source, versus what happens at the end of the line, most average people don't really have a proper understanding of what happens. So when we hear about, we produce this amount of crude oil, people don't really have a proper understanding of, okay, what does that actually mean in real terms? Because if people had a better understanding of what it meant in real terms, they would be able to hold more people accountable and say, well, okay, if this is what's happening here, why is this not happening? But because it's a very kind of blurred, and I'm not sure that the blurring isn't deliberate, because it's a very kind of blurred sort of aspect on the whole thing, I think that's part of what causes the problem. So that's why it's mismanaged. So that's why that's it.
Okay. So while you were talking, Femi Oke from London, UK joined us. Femi, it's good to have you. It's good to have you here. We all know. I mean, the situation in our country is nothing to you can't hide from it. The reality is raw, is real. A country immersed with wealth, but people are suffering. The average income per family is nothing to talk about. Students don't go to school. I mean, a lot of things happening, coupled with the security side of it, the insecurity side of it, and all the other things. Social services not there, electricity not there. Femo, we're about to interview somebody that's going to be talking on that aspect. But before he comes in, Femi, how will you sum up Nigeria's problem when it comes to we having the crude oil, we having a sought after mineral, but we still suffering? Femi, what do you tell?
So the idea that having a particular mineral is the panacea for our problems, that's the problem in of itself. Oil alone is not the solution to our problems, and any single mineral is not the solution to any country's situation, unless you're a country like Saudi Arabia with vast oil resources that can be also used and exploited for very low cost. Then of course that's fine. But with Nigeria, the cost of actually exploiting our minerals is very expensive. Then before, most of our oil wealth was onshore, okay, but then you have the problems of the communities disrupting pipelines. Then you've got community conflict with the end use with the IOC. So it meant that actually trying to explore for oil on land became a no-go area. And so at the end, most of the oil companies had to go offshore because it became unprofitable for them to do onshore. And of course, it led to a lot of oil spills, environmental problems. So forget Nigeria. It's too much wahala. So they now have to go offshore. And then when you go offshore, that becomes a very opaque situation. It's far removed from where people's eyes can see in terms of how much oil is being exploited, where are the gauges, where are the metering points. You know, you don't. It becomes very, because you don't actually take the oil at the rig itself. It gets put diverted to an export point where, you know, barges now. I mean, the big ships come and they take it away. Now, so at the end of the day, I think the problem for Nigeria is that we are dealing with mainly a single source of revenue for the federal government, oil and gas. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. If you want to know why we're in a problem, there it is right there. Now, back in the 60s, we had various agricultural products. We had other minerals, tin. They were mining tin. We were exporting coal and whatnot. So you then ask yourself, what happened between the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s till now, when we say that our land is blessed with resources? I always say to people that a land blessed with resources that is not exploited is basically a barren land. You might as well call it a barren land because you're not exploiting it. So it's nothing. And what is the conundrum that's stopping people or entities from exploiting those things? Some people say it's because all minerals are in the hands of the federal government. And that's a nonsense. That's not the reason. The reason is because private enterprise are not seeing fit to exploit those resources. And the people that are doing it are small artisanal miners, okay? And they're unregulated and they're doing it in piecemeal. The big international mining companies, they're going to stay away from Nigeria because the problems of the community, the problems of corruption, and all these manner of issues, the lack of a conducive environment, they're not very welcoming. The barriers to entry are so much that the Nigerians will be saying, those companies say, why should I come to Nigeria when I can go to another country? So we have a big load of problems in Nigeria right
We have
now.
a
It's
big load
not
of
just
problem.
about oil and gas.
Yes, Femi, thank you so much. You have a lot to say there. We don't want to waste time. Richard, Asari, can you hear us? Can you see us? Good. Okay, viewers.
Yes, I can hear you and I'm seeing you.
Okay, very good. Viewers, you're tuned into One-on-One, SSM One-on-One. We have this program we do for our global audience. Asari Dokubo, you're welcome. You are connected with Nigerians scattered all over the world. We have Sir George Chukwu in Canada. We have Dr. Godwin Ibe in Russia. That's Sir George Chukwu's hand raised up. We have Dr. Ibe in Russia, Moscow. We have Femi Oke, Better Niger Conveyor in London, UK. And we have the only lady in the house, Fiona Akanu, also in Niger Delta. And Fiona Akanu is living there in London, UK. So you're welcome, Asari Dokubo. What do you say
Good
to
afternoon.
the house?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Asari. Alhaji Asari, I would like to see your eyes when I'm talking to you. So those dark glasses is man.
My eyes, even if I remove the glasses, you can't see my eyes well.
Anyway, we are going to be seeing you more, your eyes and everything. Now, the viewers, we are tuned in and connected one-on-one with Alhaji Asari Dokubo, a major political figure in the Ijaw ethnic group of Niger Delta region of Nigeria. And this is today, the 26th of August 2024. So let me begin by opening it to the house. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you have your question. Let's start with the lady in the house. Fiona Kanu, what do you have for Asari Dokubo?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Lalaji. My own question, I'm going to start really soft, really easy. I wanted to ask, over the last week, we've had protests going on in Nigeria, and there's an understanding out there that you've said that, people shouldn't be protesting. I mean, one, is that true? And B, and two, if it is true, what was the reason behind you saying that the people should not join the protesting, sir?
Did
Did
you
you hear the
hear
question?
him? I think the
Did you?
frame.
Get
It's
you. I
frozen.
didn't get you. I didn't get you. There was. I didn't
Okay.
get you.
Okay.
Okay. Her
Okay, that's fine.
question. Her question. That's Fiona from London. Her question is, you said they shouldn't bring that protest to Niger Delta. In your words, you said end bad governance protest. Don't bring your protest to Niger Delta. So Fiona is asking, what's your reason for that? Why don't you want to get involved in the protest? Your people,
Well,
Delta.
first, I want to make a correction. My full video is on social media. I was transmitted live. I did not say don't bring your protest to Niger Delta. My full video is there. People can go to and listen. There are so many mischief makers who turn people's statement to mean other things. What I said is that me and my people and those who are present there that are patriots of Niger Delta will not be part of this protest. And I urge others not to join the protest. I said this protest will lead to anarchy. And that is what is unfolding now. You don't need a seer to predict it.
I think there's an
Like
issue.
Asari,
Is it
we
broke?
are
Is it
losing you.
frozen again?
Yes,
Yes, it
it's
is.
frozen again.
Just
Okay. I think probably need to just put
I
the.
told them this
Okay, it's back on.
protest will anarchy.
Okay.
Yeah.
While we wait for, I think
While we're waiting for him to come back,
Yes.
let me
Yes,
just
sure.
describe, because a lot of people talk about anarchy. Are you there?
Yes,
Yeah, we're
George,
hearing
we're
you.
with you. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So when we talk about anarchy, an anarchy is someone who believes in or advocate for anarchy, a political philosophy that rejects all forms of involuntary coercive authority. So I don't understand. Anyway, let him
I'm
continue,
coming.
because I
I'm
want
coming,
people to
please.
understand what anarchy
I'm
means.
coming.
Go ahead.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I said these protests will lead to anarchy. You are not in Nigeria. Several people, properties have been destroyed. Properties of government have been destroyed. Poor people that are hungry, like those who claim to be hungry and are carrying these protests, have been destroyed. Shops have been looted. People's life has been ruined forever. People have died, both from law enforcement agency and protesters. Now, I was very close to Muammar Gaddafi. I lived in Libya for 1 year. I was in Set. I know everything from his tent, his bedroom, everywhere. And when this evil American, NATO, European sponsored coup against Muammar Gaddafi, who is a leader of the matters of the whole world, of the downtrodden, all of us saw what happened. Today, Libya is not what Libya is. I lived in Libya 1990, 91, 92, part of 92. And I know what Libya is. I left Libya 8 months before the so-called evil revolution, which is an evil cloud, covered Libya. Today, Libya is more than a third world country. Libya is in darkness. Libya is ruled by a gang of warlords who had partitioned the country with all form of cruelty, killing people from all over the world. Having said that, having seen the demands of these people that end bad governance, when General Muhammad Buhari was there, under COVID, we were locked down for more than 1 year. There was a lockdown for more than 1 year. We did not see any protest. There was a Naira exchange that people were buying Naira with their money. People were dying. People were going to the bank to strip themselves naked. We did not see any protest. Even the ill-conceived and SARS demonstration, we did not see any demonstration in the north. And I want the government that the flashpoint will be in the north and in the southeast. I want them. I told them. They did not believe me. And today, that is what we have. People are complaining that the flag of a foreign country is being hoisted in Nigeria, is being carried by Nigerian protesters. People are openly calling for the military to take power. Is it the end result? We went through gruesome military rule. We went through the most horrific period in our life under the military. And today, people are boldly calling for military rule, the military to take over power. And that is the result of this. I know that the people who are carrying out this, who are instigating this demonstration from behind the scene, are people who failed the election. And I want to come out to call out one of them specifically, P2B and his supporters, who, since they failed the election, they know that they cannot win any election. They know they cannot win. No, allow me land. I know what I'm talking about. They know that they cannot win election. If they hold election 1 million times, P2B cannot contest the election and win with Ahmed Bola Tinubu. We know that this election, Ahmed Bola Tinubu was the underdog. The election, that 2023 election, Ahmed Bola Tinubu was the underdog. The whole of the power that be was against him. Asari Dokubo was against him. His party was against him. The whole northern elite who are now sponsoring these protests behind the scene, who are sewing this Russian flag and giving to people, were against him. It was the ordinary people of the north, ordinary people of the north, that brought Ahmed Bola Tinubu to power. I will come to that. I will expatiate on that.
Sorry, I need to stop you for a minute. Massive Mark. Sorry, I need to stop you for a minute. Okay, listen. We were going well until you landed in this particular sacred zone, and that sacred zone is the question a lot of people are asking you. You are an Igbo, whether you like it or not. You are an Igbo from Igbo extract. You might be answering.
You cannot say whether I like it or not. That's an insult on you.
Finish.
You cannot tell me I am Igbo whether I like it or not. I am Igbo. There are people who are not Igbo. I am Igbo. But you can't tell me I am Igbo whether I like it or not. And I am not Igbo. I am not against Igbo. I am not against Igbo people. I am not Igbo-phobic. I am Igbo. I am an Abba man. I'm not just an Igbo man. No. I'm not just an Igbo man. Wait, let me finish this. I am an Abba man. One of the strongest Igbo sub-nationality. That's where I come from. I'm an Obom man. My father, Ediabale, is an Obom man. So when I'm talking as an Igbo man, I should have the authority to talk. Because I have a long chain of ancestors who fought, who stood against colonialism. Obom was the last place in Igbo land that colonialism was fought. The British people, 1903 was the time after Arochukwu fell, was when Obom fell. I know my history. I'm not just an ordinary Igbo man.
Okay, sorry. But what you are saying and blaming P2B and the rest of the followers, which we believe is not true, is actually fueling the anti-Igbo sentiment around Nigeria. Today in Lagos, they have been crying, Igbo must go, Igbo must go. And it's because of this type of narrative that you are putting out there that is making a lot of Lagosians and the Yoruba people come against Igbos. So what proof do you have that P2B was part of this particular protest? He's denied it. All he's done is to educate Nigerians about democracy and the reason why they should, we should, involve ourselves in a fair and just, equitable election. P2B
let him answer the question.
Okay, let him
answer the
respond.
question.
Let him
Answer
respond.
the question, please.
Oh, looks like it's frozen.
Looks like it's frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As I'm talking to you now in Port Harcourt, even me, my followers were approached. My followers, those who are with me, were approached by P2P followers that you must fall the hands of Dokubo Asari. My followers were approached to pay the money that they can come out and demonstrate. So, and P2P himself had come out to say, if we are going to war, let us go to war. But talk is cheap. People who have not seen war will talk of war. When they see war, they cannot do it. So talk is very cheap. Anybody can talk anyhow he likes. But let us come to this thing. Nobody will hate his people. Or if we as Igbo people were too loud. You can't go to somebody's own place in Lagos and say, Lagos is no man's land. Igbos beat Lagos. Where did they beat Lagos? How many of the big establishments in Lagos belong to Igbo people? How many of the big manufacturing firms belong to Igbo people? How many of the factories belong to Igbo people? You go to somebody's land, as Calabari people will say, Ijamalate Yegbola, Yegbola Beteliria. Yegbola Beteliria. When you go to some place, you have to respect the people of the land. When you don't have respect for people, no Yoruba man can come to Igbo land and do what Igbo people are doing in Lagos and do what Igbo people are doing in Kano. You have to respect people. And if you don't respect people, you face the consequences of your action. What is happening in South Africa? The people they are attacking in South Africa, majority of them are Igbo people. Why are they attacking them in South Africa? Is South Africa also Yoruba land? Is South Africa, Mujahid Abubakar Dokubo Asari, is he in South Africa instigating South African? What's happening in Malaysia? What's happening in Malaysia? What happened in Dubai? Where cult groups, people took cult from here. Igbo people took cult from here and went to Dubai and started attacking each other and killing people. Why are we so visible and loud anywhere we go to? Until we tell ourselves the truth. Until we tell ourselves the truth, we continue to be victims of our own actions as Igbo people. And it is my duty to come out to say this thing openly, that we Igbo people, we are too loud. We should respect ourselves and respect our neighbors anywhere we go to. I have nothing to gain against my own people. My name is Izaw. One of my sons' name is Izaw. My wife is from Abia. One of my wife is from Abia. Thank you. So I'm not just this thing. I should be able to tell our people the truth. If nobody, I tell the truth to everybody. No matter who you are, I tell you the truth. If you don't like it, you throw it away.
Okay, thank you, Asari. Femi, let's hear you. What do you have for Asari?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that he qualified his statement in terms of about whether people should go out to protest or not. I really want to talk to the situation in Rivers State. What is your view on Rivers State? Because I'm glad there wasn't really much protest in Rivers State, but the state of affairs in Rivers State is, between Wike and Fubara, it looks like nothing is happening in Rivers State. And the Ijaws have a governor. You've got the governor Fubara there. What do you think is going to happen? Are we going to have progress in good governance in Rivers State? Because really, it looks like there's nothing happening. What can you say about Rivers State?
Yeah, Femi, if you have listened to my live broadcast, you would have known my views on what is happening in Rivers State. First and foremost, Wike ruled for 8 years and he finished. He had gone. And another person won. He brought somebody. The person won election because that's what the Supreme Court said. And Rivers people had accepted. I did not vote for Fubara. I didn't. I supported Tony Patrick Deleko. That's my candidate. That was my candidate. And Fubra won election, he was governor. All of a sudden, we woke up one morning to hear that impeachment notice had been served. Before then, myself and Fubra were not on talking terms. We were on parallel line. We were on parallel line. Now, at the end of the day, Wike decided that he wants, by proxy, he wants a third, fourth, fifth life tenure as governor of Rivers State. It reached a point where Fubra could no longer take it. I don't know what transpired between them. And
Oh, it looks like we've lost him.
Yes, that's the Nigerian network for you. Viewers, you are tuned into 101 SSM More Than One today. We're with Asari Dokubo. Okay, he's back. Yeah, go ahead.
People of Rivers State stood up, including myself. What we are saying is that Wike is using the support of Abuja to stifle development. It's using Abuja to truncate development in Rivers State. And Rivers people are opposed to it. And that's why even among the demonstrators, Fubra is very popular. Fubra drive around in the midst of the people who are demonstrating. And while we did not need counter protest in Rivers State, no counter protest had come out, we have the people in our hand. We can walk out to meet anybody. It's because if we do something, they will blame it on Fubra. And that's why some of us are restraining ourselves, because they will blame it on Fubra. Rivers State IGR under Wike was 12 billion. When Fubra came, it fell to a time to 6 billion IGR. After the quarrel between Wike and Fubra, without any input, without any improvement, without anything happening, the IGR of Rivers State had gone to 27 billion to between 23 billion and 27 billion in a month. That means somebody was pilfering the IGR of Rivers State. And if you hear the contract awarded in Rivers State, it's mind-boggling under Wike. Inside Port Harcourt, they said they're constructing big road, 200 billion. Inside Port Harcourt, a developed area, 200 billion. How many kilometers? 50 kilometers. That is, every kilometer is 12 billion. Every kilometer of road within Port Harcourt is 12 billion naira. We are not talking of in the swampy area where people can speculate on all sorts of things because of the terrain and blah, blah, dash. This one is inside Port Harcourt. 1 kilometer of road inside, already paved road. The roads are already paved. They are now reconstructing them. Each kilometer is 4 billion. Now, NDDC is awarding a kilometer of road for 99 million naira to 250 million naira in the most challenging terrain, in the same region, in the same river state. 250 million. The road between Obakri and the Calabari 3 local government is less than 16 kilometers. It was awarded for 33 billion. These are already paved road. They are already resurfacing. They are only resurfacing this road. 33 billion. These are mind-boggling things. They are out of a reporter movie. A reporter movie. So this is a man who is used to pilfering the resources of Rivers State. And he feels that if he continues his third and life this thing as governor of Rivers State through proceeds, he will continue to corner the resources of Rivers State. And he's being supported the constitution is being abused by the judiciary and even by the government at the center, the federal government. People decamp from PDP. They were elected on the platform of PDP. Nobody asked them to decamp. And the constitution says if you leave a party platform to go to another party, you will lose your position. And these people shamelessly, after decamping, when they went to the court, Federal High Court, which is also wrong, which I'm going to address, they went and saw affidavit that they have actually decamped from PDP to APC. All of a sudden now they have come back, they did not decamp again, they are back. And Wike is using them. And the people of Rivers State are standing tall. If this demonstration are not held, maybe some people at the federal level, because all the judgment of the Supreme Court, the Appeal Court, everything that had transpired in this period was geared towards removing for Wike to become Lord and Master of Rivers State. But one thing I have told them in my previous live broadcast, what is happening in Kano that they're afraid of, is going to be a child play if they tamper with Rivers State. And Rivers State is the most economically viable state. They have been talking of hydrocarbon period is over. This one is over. Now we have all known that these things were a lie. They were just pulling our leg. Petrol, hydrocarbon will continue to be the mainstay of Nigerian economy. And if they start anything, if they take the wrong step, it will be more dangerous. It will affect it will threaten the economy and the stability of Nigeria. And what we are saying is that Wike and those who have employed him, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu had employed Wike, made him governor of Abuja. Let him tell him today is day in Abuja. And let Rivers State people also day or day in Rivers State. Because in where they pursue small fowl, if he no breaking leg, he no breaking head.
Simple. You don't talk. Femi, can you hear him? Please, Asari, can we have your view well positioned? Is there a way you can put that phone to your face? What we're saying is your white biabia. You lost your biabia.
This will not be my phone, no, Richard phone.
Richard, oh yeah, because listen, you have 7,000 people listening to you now.
I think now it's better.
Hey, now it's better because we want to see that face well. Not be the biabia. 7,000 day they hear you now. Asari. Okay, let's go to Russia. Dr. Godwin, Russia, what do you have for Asari, please?
Yes, I want to ask, first of all, good day, Alaji. It's a privilege and honor to get to talk to someone of your caliber, who is very influential in Nigerian politics. And I understand that even though we may agree, sometimes we disagree, but basically I can see the desire for progress of Nigeria and the region you represent. So my question is this: I would like to know. You spoke about anarchists who may want to take advantage of the protests. I actually support the fact that anarchism is terrible. We know how difficult it is to build infrastructure and so many uncompleted projects. And of course, it's very, very sad when we lose the few infrastructure we have. But I think most of the protests are peaceful. If you don't disagree, most of the protests are peaceful. Some fringe elements, yes, it's too much way over the line. And then secondly, how do you see the future of Nigeria under your principal, our president and commander-in-chief, with the high rate of inflation, the increase in cost of living, and what do you think is the prognosis of the future of Nigerians? You once spoke about giving the president time, but do you really think we are making progress the way we should? Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Thank you very much, my brother from Russia. I want to say that I want to start from the end of your question. Ahmed Bola Tinubu is my friend. We had been friends since 1992. And when I was passing through difficulty, when Obasanjo arrested me and put me underground, 3 floors underground, in solitary confinement, Ahmed Bola Tinubu and others, I said others, Donald Duke and former President Goodluck Jonathan, who was governor of Bayelsa State, and many others came to my aid. But the most prominent of them was Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I did not solicit for his help. He did everything. He took my children, he paid my children school fees, and he did everything for me. And when I came out of prison, he sent me for medical treatment in Saudi Arabia. I chose Saudi Arabia at the Saudi German hospital until good luck came and we disagreed and I stopped going to see him. Even then, I was going to see Ajia Magaji's mother and all, but I decided not to see him. We disagreed as friends. When he wanted to come out from for this presidency, Professor Adeyeye, Adeogbu, and others approached me, and I gave them all my all. It was my opportunity to pay my friend back. And even his daughter Fula just said, "Call your father." That's what she told me. We're in Saudi Arabia. I said, "No." When he helped me, I did not call him. He did not call me. He came to my aid, so I'm not going to call him. She said, "Politician, when you are finished doing your work, others will take advantage." But I didn't. So Ahmed Bola Tinubu did not give me a dime. I did not see him. I did not talk to him throughout the period that the election went on.
We are losing you now. Sorry. Okay. Um, while we bring him back, good question, Godwin. Fiona, I think you still need to put your question. If probably your audio is set right. And I want to say that George, yes, what you
I
said
said,
was
I still
very.
have to ask my question. Oh,
Okay, sorry. Let's bring him
Yes,
in again. Okay, go
yes.
ahead.
I'll come to your question. So,
Mhm.
Ahmed Bola Tinubu, that is it. Your question is this: how is it going to improve? I am also affected. If I tell you that people are not hungry, then I'm lying. If I tell you that people are not suffering, I'm lying. See, it is better for us to avert total destruction than to ask for total destruction. If anybody has visited countries that have gone through this route and what happened to those countries. Now, how is Ahmed Bola Tinubu had not taken very strong steps, very bold step in correcting the accumulated vices by government in Nigeria. He has not, and he has refused to be strong, which as a friend, I am very, very disappointed. I say it to those who are close to him. I meet his friends and I tell them, for instance, we are complaining about Russian flag. That Russian flag is hoisted on our soil. This is a treason. So if hoisting Russian flag in Nigeria is a treason, what of spending American dollars?
Mhm.
Is American dollar the legal tender of Nigeria?
Mhm.
We have Naira as the legal tender.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not spending naira? How many big people have naira in their hand? What they spend is dollars. If the government wants to be committed, because the Ahmed Bola Tinubu that I know and the one in Aso Rock today, there's a great difference. I'm saying it. You said 7,000 people are listening to me. I know Ahmed Bola Tinubu to his bedroom. I go to anywhere, I enter everywhere in his house. The first lady called me my brother. I go, if I say I want to eat at any time, they give me food to eat. So the one I know and the one in government today, and what is happening in the government, the courage, the first step is to arrest the recklessness in our foreign exchange policies. And if we do that, prices will come down. Like I said, I was in Libya. Once you enter, you drop at Tripoli International Airport under Gaddafi, you will declare all the foreign currency you have on you. They will take it from you at the airport and exchange it for local currency in Libya. And if you are found spending foreign currency, any foreign currency inside Tripoli, Benghazi, you'll be arrested. They take all these currencies from you. They give you the lira, they give you Libyan currency. You go in. When you are going back at the airport, you take back the local currency and they give you back the equivalent of what is remaining and you go with it. That was why Libyan currency remained almost at the same rate with the dollar from 1990 when I first went to Libya to 2010 when I last went to Libya. The currency exchange rate is almost the same. The same thing with Saudi Arabia. Exchange rate is almost the same. There is nobody in Libya. In Saudi Arabia, they accept dollar, they accept everything. There's nobody in Libya who will accept any foreign currency from you because it is criminal, it is illegal. So when we debase our naira and turn it to toilet paper, and we celebrate dollar, pounds, and euro, this is what is affecting our economy. And then the unbridled appetite to import. Government should be able to control importation. Government should be able to control importation. All of us are guilty. And then we must make do with what we have. We must make do with what we have if we are going to become a great nation. Until we solve that, because if dollar had gone up from 500 plus from Buhari to 1,600, that is 300% devaluation of the naira. 300%, over 300% devaluation of the naira. And that means there will be 300% increase in the prices of things in Nigeria, of goods and services. So how can we survive? Except those who are making dollars. Except people like Dangote who goes to the bank and they give him, according to his admission, 2.7 billion at official rate. While Ibeto, myself, all other businessmen will have to go and source it from one malam before we can buy anything, before our factories will work, before our farms will work. So these are what we are saying. The president had not shown courage. He had not shown strength in dealing with this thing. First and foremost, we must attack the foreign exchange regime, which is very corrupt. Once we are able to overcome the foreign exchange regime, make the naira to be at the rate it ought to be. The naira must go down. Because in the United States of America, had been sabotaging all countries like they did to Zimbabwe, like they did to Venezuela, like they did to Iran. Their business is to sabotage countries, bring down the economy of those countries, and promote the dollar. The dollar is only a piece of paper. It is not backed by anything. What is backed with is deceit and terror of the United States of America. That is what it is backed with. And a corrupt president will continue to follow. Africa will continue to follow these pieces of paper that has no meaning, is worse than a toilet paper. They call it a dollar, and then we all now. It is the measurement. It is the scale to measure our oil. It is the scale to measure our palm oil. It is the scale to measure our cocoa. For what? We should be courageous enough. So when people are talking of bricks and all of that, it is blah blah, that is nonsense. The first step is to attack that toilet paper called dollar and let it change. The naira should be is as strong as any other currency, but our people should have the courage to say this naira, we will raise it to the height of other currencies. People are now saying that Afghanistan currency is one of the strongest. What is Afghanistan producing? Because they hold their people down. There is sanction against anybody who will go and play with their currency. And so their currency is strong. So Nigeria can achieve it if our president is strong enough to take that decision.
Okay, Asari, let me come in here and ask a question. You have mentioned a few things, actually that will go into this question, but I want you to go a little further. My question is, what alternative solutions or actions would you propose to address the hardship and the concerns that the protesters are highlighting? You have already said that people are hungry. That means they have a legitimate reason to protest against the government. So what alternative solutions or actions would you propose to address those hardships? Because I know you just mentioned about dollar. Can you go a little deeper into that, please?
My dear brother, people are hungry.
Yes, sir.
There are hungry people in Obama, where I reside, but they did not demonstrate. They are hungry. The environment has been debased. They cannot even go out for fishing. They did not demonstrate, not because they are cowards. No. The demonstrators that are calling military to take over power, is it hunger? When military comes, there will be no hunger. Under military, we had an Abacha who was president, military president, head of state. If we cannot remember any other person. In my 60 years, majority of the period of I've been alive, I've been under a military, I've been under military rule. So there is not going to be any solution without addressing the monetary regime of Nigeria. Because I don't know where the government is going to get the money. For instance, if we are going to pay the people equivalent of what it is, say in 1999, what civil servants are earning equivalent of what it is today, we will be paying civil servants up to 300, 400,000 a month. And the civil servants are not up to 1% of Nigerian population. So if we pay the civil servants 400,000, which state can afford to pay 400,000? We have to look at the root, uproot the root. Once we uproot the root, all other things will die. It will reduce corruption. You go to other countries, let me tell you, I went to Iran, 2009. I visited Iran. We went to see a minister in Iran. There was no single person in his office. We went to see President Ahmadinejad in his house as a delegation. There was no single person in the house of President Ahmadinejad except his wife and his steward, Usaka. We didn't see anybody. What that tells you is that once the people have the basic, they don't need to run around the offices of ministers, offices of people to inflate contracts. What we have in Nigeria is a contract regime. Everybody wants to go and do contracts. Let me tell you, I bought a car for 220 million, a bulletproof car. That same car is sold to government for 700 something million. That same car I bought, brand new, 0 mileage, is sold to government for 700 and something million. Some of them buy that car for 1 point something billion. And when
Yes, Femi. Yes, we're hearing it here. Femi, go ahead before he comes back. You want to
No,
say
you can
something?
hear. I think this is a great interview, and I think we need to have more of these people being interviewed by us, because to tell an ordinary Nigerian what's really going on. And it's quite interesting what I find in him, in that on one hand, he's supporting Fubara, on another hand, he's supporting Tinubu. You know, it's almost like opposites of the same coin. So it's very interesting. And really, the question, I don't know what Fiona's going to ask him, but what I want to ask him is really about the oil and gas industry, about why is it that there's so much stealing in the oil industry, you know, because we're not fulfilling our quota. They're saying there's so much
are you with
stealing
me?
there. And also,
Yes.
Yes.
We lost you.
Yes,
Sorry,
like I
Femi.
was saying, at the time I ordered for the vehicle, at 105 million. I did not pay. I paid half of it. By the time I went to pay the full with clearance and everything, it had jumped over 100 million. 100% increase. That same car that I bought 200 million, 0 mileage, government is buying it for the least I have seen people supply it to government is 700 and something million. Some people are buying it for up to 1 billion. Now, I asked the question. So in every car, you have about 3. Every one car supplied to government, you have about 3. You can use it to buy 3. It's a contract regime. That's what Nigeria is. Everybody is an hustler. Nobody can survive on his or her salary. We come about talking about National Assembly members, governors, and so on. We are all culpable. We are all part of it, because given opportunity, we do worse than the rest of the people. Buhari government came. They said, oh, Goodluck government was bad. And the people that came with Buhari had the mindset that Goodluck people were stealing. So they came. What they did was to just go into the treasury. Their own was even worse. They were printing naira and using it. You see, Malami took NDDC money, 600 billion, and told Niger Delta people go to hell. 600 billion is still working free. Everybody knows that. He took 600 billion of NDDC money and working free. So what I'm trying to say is this. You have to attack the root, uproot the root. If we don't uproot the root, all this palliative of sharing rights, all this palliative of 50,000, what will 50,000 do? 50,000 to some few people in the country. 50,000 will not in any way affect anybody. So you give 50,000. How many states can afford giving 50,000 to our indigents and citizens? So it's not feasible. there is no can change this other than attacking the root cause of it. Once we attack the root cause of it, things will start falling in place. More revenue will be in the hands of the people. We restrict import, and we start to encourage commitment. We go back to agriculture. Look at Nigeria. Nigerian government under Buhari said we wanted to go into agriculture. I know people who took 20 billion. Where did they put the loan? They went and did other things, build estates in Abuja and so on. And rice jumped from 7,500 to about 40-something thousand under Buhari.
Yes.
They planted rice. They planted rice with our money, with government money. Not only that, aviation. People receive billion in the aviation sector. What is the outcome? Some people receive today from is 360,000 or 100,000 at the time to Senegal. So all these things we put in place, people just come, collect the money. We built power plants with billions and sold it for hundreds of millions. Gave it out to the discourse for hundreds of millions. Power plant we build for, everybody can go and check. Power plant that we build for billions. So this corruption is very endemic. It's in our blood. So when you attack the root cause, and then to the people, we should be able to work. We have to change our curriculum. You send somebody to the university, comes out as an engineer, it's not employable. He cannot fit into anywhere. So why should anybody, yes, why should anybody go to the university? After going to university, he goes to sell at Ladipo market, hang his certificate, PhD, in his shop, and he's selling computer. Why did that person, that fellow hanging that ego clutching, he called a certificate? Why did he not go and learn how to sell computer from when he was 3 years old to that period? He would have made more money instead of wasting time going to get a PhD, uses at ego clutches. I have PhD, and he hangs it in the shop at Ladipo market. So when anybody comes, they will see PhD. It is not waste of resources. It's sheer waste of resources.
So
these are the things that are affecting us. We are not committed to our needs to grow. We're not committed. Until Nigerians are committed, until we use our hand to create, we're not creating, we're just consuming, and this thing is widespread. It's not just in government, wasteful consumption. That is what is going on. And until we stop this wasteful consumption and direct the economy to productivity, we'll continue to have this problem. No government will be able to solve this thing. We can just pay lip services to it at the end of the day. Many people have come from diaspora to come and work in Nigeria. Was Okonjo not Minister for Finance? What miracle did she perform here? Adesina, was he not here with us? What miracle did he perform? They did not perform any miracle, because the system will not allow them to perform any miracle. Even you that is talking to me, you come back tomorrow, you will not be able to perform any miracle.
Fair enough.
Okay, you put
Sorry, you want to try me? Sorry, come on.
Sorry, we listen. We are so excited to have you, but we looks as if we've lost him. Gentlemen, Femi, George, do you guys agree we have him on the second
The
round?
network is very bad.
Yes, network is very bad. Asari, please, we want to hear more from you, but our program runs for 1 hour and we've gone past like 5 minutes. But you they drop the thing where people won't hear, and the Nigerians for diaspora, then they hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, he has to answer this question about the oil and gas. Can I get that question in? If you're
No. Go ahead.
Okay,
do
so Alaji, assalamu alaikum.
Let's do more. Let's do.
Wa alaikum salam. I'm hearing you.
Okay, so the question I have for you is a double one. But why people want to know why we're not fulfilling our oil production quota? And some say, is it because of bunkering? And many people have alleged that your wealth is from bunkering. Is this true? That's a good question. And how can we get oil production up to 2 million barrels per day? And finally, is it time for Kyari to quit or be sacked for his failure to get NNPCL's refineries working?
My dear brother, even if I tell you I am not doing bunkering, you will not believe me. But I know that I've never done bunkering. I am the person who comes out to say environmental degradation. We must fight environmental genocide. I cannot go back to do another thing. I'm already 60 years. But whether you believe me or not, I've never done bunkering. But let me come. Now you are against bunkering. What moral authority does anybody in Abuja have to be against bunkering? In Zamfara, the Zamfara state, they are mining the gold and taking it. In Plateau, they are mining the
Benzonite.
body from
Lithium.
The network is
Lithium.
bouncing.
Yeah, but he's speaking fact.
Okay.
Well,
I think
people,
he's coming back.
why will the law in Zamfara be different from the law in Delta State or Abia State?
Good question.
Having said that,
Good question.
I don't encourage bunkering. Number two, I don't think individuals are a problem. I don't think Kyrie is a problem of this thing. Let me give you an example. Look at the blackmail that Dangote is subjecting the whole of Nigeria to. This is sheer blackmail. Dangote established a refinery. They said our government paid how many billion? Almost half of the, almost 20 to buy 20% stake in that refinery. Before Buhari left, Dangote took Buhari to go and commission the refinery. At the time Dangote commissioned the refinery, let Nigerians ask him, was that refinery completed? Was that refinery ready to go into production? Everybody, I know, I am convinced that that refinery was not ready to go into production. So why did he deceive Nigeria for that refinery to be commissioned? He who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Did Dangote come to equity with clean hands? Dangote collected, according to his own admission, that he was given 2.7 billion US dollars. 2.7 billion US dollars, out of which 2.5 billion was released to him. Has that been released to you? If they give you 2.5 billion US dollar at outrageous exchange rate of nothing, will you not be a billionaire? Do you even need to use the money for anything? You just go and sell the dollar to Aboki and take the difference. So Dangote was given. That privilege extended to Dangote. Was it extended to me or to you? That is it. Now, Nigerian refinery working. See, until you get into position, you will not know what happens in position. There are people who had come with Ahmed Bola Tinubu into government who are his enemies. his big enemies. They are plotting against his government. Even at this time when there is crisis, they are still there plotting against his government. These individuals have taken all other appointees as prisoners, and they make demands from these appointees.
True.
These demands must go, these proceeds must go to them. If you don't, you will be sacked. So almost everybody working in this government is frustrated. Only a few people can raise their neck. That is the truth. Only a few people can raise their neck. Most of the people are being strangulated, they are being drowned. Because there are people, principalities and powers in high places who are dictating to them, go and bring.
Nigerian network.
They're going to give out OML. Is it not right that the people from the oil bearing communities should be have the first right of refusal, but they're selling it among themselves?
Dear.
Wow. We lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
he's
back.
back.
Yeah, but we've got to have him back on the show.
Dangote is saying that there's a melting plant in Malta. And then he listed out the names. And funny enough, the names of the people are Tinubu's family. What is he doing? He's instigating people against Tinubu. He's instigating the people against Tinubu. What of the one he had, the money he had as the warehouse of all stolen money in Nigeria? Every government that comes to power is with that government. When that government leaves, another government comes, he shifts allegiance to that government. So why would Nigeria give 650,000 barrels of crude oil, which is about one third of all the crude produced in Nigeria, to one individual every day? What of other people? What are we talking about? In the United States of America, in Europe, they are fighting against monopoly. Before our very highs, we are supporting a monopolist who must take all our ingenuity, all our this thing together. For us, what is happening is no oil is passing through the pipeline. As we are talking now, all the pipeline had been busted. Then don't break and finish. The pipeline no day again. Waiting the happen, they are barging and trucking. That is what is happening. And the government is aware. They are not talking about it. We are awarding pipeline contract. Pipelines are not
working.
The high seas that need the ice.
I hope we can. Okay. See that?
So what I am trying to tell you is that Nigeria can produce up to even 3 million barrels a day. But it has to be the commitment. The other time when I spoke and I told you people the truth, all of you gang up and said the truth, crucify me. But people have been saying the truth that I said since. That the May Babam bunkers, they are known. Everybody knows that. But when you talk, because I was courageous enough to say it, everybody came and said this Asari must be killed for saying the truth. Nigerians are not ready to listen to the truth. Even this demonstration, this protest that you are talking, some people want to advance military takeover. Military takeover. Who is going to take over now? Maybe a northerner will take over the government. There'll be a northern coup. When a northern coup come, or there'll be a northern coup and they will put a puppet from the south as president that they will hold, and he will be puppeteering. And then in an heterogeneous country that we are, we should be satisfied. Because any other person that overthrow this government, it will be like an Ijaw, Ifa Junadiaku, and Ironsi. It will lead to another series of counter coups, except a northerner carries out the coup. the demonstration is more in the north because the northern elites did not support Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And this is, he allowed them to now use, because of the people he has in his government, to now use his failure to fight against him, which is very dangerous. I hope he traces his footprints back, because this is the first person that is in government that has been in trenches with the ordinary people of this country. He's the first president that has been in the trenches with the ordinary people of this country. But the way that this government has gone over this 1 year is not our expectation. Those of us who are also in the trenches with him, it's not in our expectation. That's the truth of the matter. But I, as Mujahid Dokubo Asari, cannot fail to support my friend. Number one, I will not betray my friend, because I know that others who are talking will not be better than him. Number two, I will not accede and accept anarchy, because it will be very dangerous. I will fight. If anarchy starts, I will be one of the major people that will fight that system that will come. So at 60, I will continue to fight. I will continue to carry guns. No, I don't want that. I want to have a peaceful retirement with my children and grandchildren. I don't want that. So what we are trying to say is that let all of us put hands together and make meaningful suggestions to government so that this government can go forward. Because if we fail to do it, the consequences will be more dire than what we have today.
Yes, on that note, gentlemen, please let's wind down. Asari Dokubo has done so much here today. One-on-one with Asari Dokubo, major political figure of Ijaw ethnic group in the Niger Delta area of Nigeria. You've all heard what he said, opened up some real strong issues, and Asari, we want to see you again. We'll have a part 2 with this. George, is that not so? Femi?
Yes, we would love to have a part. Let him come back. Let him go.
Yes.
Asari.
George.
Alaji, we would like to have a second part with you. Is that okay with you? We would love to bring you, because a lot of people are so much interested in what you're saying, simply because of the state of affairs in Nigeria, and you're hitting the nail on the head.
Right.
So I think we should have a part 2 as soon as possible. What do you think, sir?
No, yeah, he said no
No
problem.
problem. No
Also,
problem. But I'll be going
guys,
to the
on
village
Friday,
today.
on Friday, we'll be on live with him. Asari, what's that program for Friday? Let the viewers hear. What are you doing on Friday?
We wanted to have a rally to go against this the protest that is going on. We think that it's not the best, but everybody, including the government in Rivers State and in Abuja, I think are against it. That we will only make people to maybe not in Rivers State, in other places, to say if government is allowing Dokubo Asari to demonstrate, we too should come out when the demonstration is going, when the fires of the demonstration the heat has started going down. So we don't know what will happen on Friday.
Okay.
They had refused to give us permission to come out.
Okay.
Before
So,
I came on this program, they said the security agencies had refused permission.
Okay, so anyway, we have it. We'll be on queue with you. Whatever happens, we'll be following you live, like you said, and it will be nice to also see.
The network is bad.
Yes, it's very bad.
So,
All right. So, viewers,
Godwin.
Yes.
If the protest does not hold, that would be a good platform for him to come out and say something to the people. We can actually have him back on Friday. If they don't give him and he decides not to do the protest, it would be a fantastic idea for him to be with us on Friday, and we hold him as much as long as possible to talk to the people.
Yes. Don't worry, Asari, for network, we'll talk with your media team. So next time we can have it real firm. We'll do it well. So, but
No problem.
gentlemen, Godwin, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
so
very much. Yes, yes.
So much,
Everybody.
Thank you, Alhaji.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Fiona. Thank you, Asari Dokubo. That is the man, strong lion. This is the man they should call the lion of Judah, whatever that song is saying.
Lion of the South.
Because I was talking with him in the morning. I said, listen,
the emperor.
Yeah, that's that song. This is the man they should actually call that name. Because that the man
don't worry, we'll all go to visit Asari in his village one day. He will entertain us.
God,
no problem. I will when you come.
Of time. All right, Asari. Thank you, everybody. Fiona, Femi, see you guys tomorrow in our news update program. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Fiona. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Enjoy that. Did you enjoy that?
Yes. It was great. Thank you.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date.